Hey there, demons. It's me, your boy.
Hello, Demon. When it comes to bad guys, you can't get badder baddies than D&D fiends.
Oh yeah.
They are intrinsically and holistically bad, like an old school Disney villain. That's what makes them fun. But there are two types of fiends in D&D, 3, but the third one doesn't get any shine. And one certainly gets more shine than the other in the dragon game. But why do devils outshine, outsell, and outperform demons? Why do demons flop so consistently in the charts? Well, I'm Antonio D'Amico, this is Pointy, and we're about to go through everything about demons in D&D, fix their popularity problem, and give you a brand new demon guide to take to your own games with this brand new episode of D&D with a Twist, Demon Edition. So when I think of demons, I think of...
I'll take 8% equity to go on the ride with you. I'll charge you 9% on it. Give you all my team.
Demons are the monsters for people whose organization method involves piling stuff up on top of chairs and anyone that goes to the club secretly hoping a fight breaks out. They are the... about to show my age, get ready to turn into dust as you are directly confronted with the passage of time, Leroy Jenkins of the forces of all that is evil. Leroy! Demons embody chaos in the Excel spreadsheet that is alignment. That's the difference between devils and demons. They are both baddies, but devils are baddies with a plan, and demons are baddies with a vibe. Devils are all about tangling you up in contracts with 100+ clauses and fine print in order to steal your soul, while demons are more about setting up a fighting ring where other demons can let out some stress by putting an end to each other as they gamble and ignore Google Calendar invites. They are so into chaos that they make it sort of their life's goal to make as much of it as possible. Well, that and like murder and pain and other things death metal bands talk about, but chaos is the biggie here. Demons are corruptors first and foremost. Their whole thing is taking all that is good and pushing it towards chaos and ultimately entropy. Devils are corruptors too. These two are both what your parents and that weirdly religious old lady that talked to you for way too long at the bus stop that one time warned you about.
And the devil laughs.
But whereas devils are gonna be sneaky about it, demons are just gonna push you into the pool of entropy and chaos with both hands. Devils are careful planners. Demons are flashy, showy, and put the B in subtle. B for baddies. For those of you that know about zodiac signs for nerds, the Myers-Briggs types, they are extroverted instead of introverted, sensing instead of intuitive, perceiving instead of judging, and definitely feeling instead of thinking. That's their thing. But they're not idiots. They're just party monsters. For those of you with an English degree or a philosophy degree, F, we're very much in the axiological hedonism territory. And finally, for those of you with an actually useful degree, they are what early Kesha sings about.
Dance.
So what are demons even? Like exactly? Well, because they are chaotic and not in the internet sense of the word, the D&D one, it's hard to define demons. Devils are often humanoid, often horned, which they were always horned. It would make them way easier to tell apart and also make for cooler visual design, but I guess we don't care about that. Demons, on the other hand, can come in basically every shape and size. So generalizations are not really useful here. Many of them have a beastly appearance and many of them look chimera-esque, as in someone put a bunch of animals in a blender and a demon came out. This doesn't mean, however, that people haven't tried to categorize demons in clear and concise groups. And by people, I mean her. Yes, Tasha, that Tasha, also known by 7,000 other names, creator of the best D&D book and indie author extraordinaire. She was the one to famously categorize the different Pokemon types of demons in her 7-volume book, The Demonomicon. Tasha has like a thing for demons and summoning them and making them do her dishes. Thanks to her valiant efforts in internshipping the worst beings in existence, we can define demons in neat categories. Kinda. Not all demons fall into these, but most do. First up are, your guess is as good as mine. I found one pronunciation, Oberith. Oberiths were the first demons, and they were also aliens. They do not come from the Abyss, which is today's house for demons. They're also ungodly powerful and mostly dead. Oberiths arrived, somehow, gentrified the Abyss to hell and back, and then something happened and most of them are gone. Keyword boast, a few archdemons are Oberiths, or suspected to be. Anyway, you rarely, if ever, see them in game. I think we have like 2 in 5e, and most of them have not even made it past 3rd edition, so we can basically ignore this. The most important type of demon is the Tanari, and I did find a pronunciation guide for this. These are the demons as we understand them today. 99% of demons are Tanari. Don't quote me on that, I don't have the numbers. I don't think that there's a census to check.
There can be 100 Tanari in the room.
Just like devils make more devils with the soul souls of mortals, more Tanari are made when the meaniest meanies end up in the abyss. Because they are made of chaos, it's kind of silly to actually categorize these guys. Like, we can say all these demons are Balors, and I guess, but the truth is that each and every one of them will be somewhat different. Not like in their own unique way, like they're snowflakes, which they are. Every single one of them is unique. They are all my special boys. But in like a biological sense, demons constantly change and shift. It's their chaotic nature, and that includes their bodies. So categories are a losing game, but also this is a game with stat blocks, so yes, there are categories. Let's look at some of them. Balors, previously mentioned, are here. They are the D&D answer to, wouldn't it be cool to fight the Balrog from Lord of the Rings? And yes, it would be. And so Balors are a thing. Meriliths are the demon's requisite hot lady girl monster thing. All games have to have one, except now in 2024, they could be boys or whatever. Progress. Meriliths are half snake, half lady, half machamp, and their whole thing is being all about sword fighting. While other demons were busy destroying and partying, Meriliths studied the blade so that they could destroy some more later. There's also stuff like the Chasme, who knows? These are the demon answer to imps. Because it's a demon and they all look like that, Chasme look like a tiny guy with the head of a mosquito and a beautiful mane of hair. Chasme's got bundles. Remier, 100% human. Probably true though, because they took it from someone. And so, like all of these demons, there's 1,000 more. We got those guys from the Dark Crystal. We got those aliens from Star Wars that look like orcs. And we got that guy from the original Dune movie. Okay, there's one last type of demon, the Lumara. These have gotten no shine, but I find them extremely interesting. If Aberth are the oldest demons, Lumara are the youngest demons. Younger than Tanari. Their whole thing is that they don't have a real body. They only work by possession. And they can possess objects or people to do their dark biddings on the material realm. If Aberth came from outer space and Tanari came from the souls of people that stand on the left side of the escalator, Lumara can come from, get ready, you don't know where this is going, the dreams and nightmares of dead gods whose corpses have somehow found themselves in the abyss. Yep, once these gods die, their thoughts, dreams, nightmares, fears of leaving the stove on sort of ooze out of dead gods. If these corpses of dead gods end up in the abyss itself will mold these thoughts into Lumara, and a new one will be born. Depending on the god, the Lumara will come out different. A Lumara that comes from a god of crafting might want to possess weapons. The ones formed from a god of peace will possess sleeping people. I think it's amazing that we have demons that work only through possession. They're like ghost demons. Sick. Anyway, most of these have not made their way into 5e. More Lumara, please. Less monkeys with scorpion butts or whatever other demon you have there. A fun one to talk about, technically a fiend and not specifically a demon, but definitely adjacent, are some of the Jinn. Yes, Jinn, not Jinn with a D. Those are the air ones. Some of these guys become such bad boys that they literally turn into fiends, kind of like a night hag. There's the Mirage Fiend that kind of looks like an infinitely hotter version of the Snow Miser, and their whole thing is appearing to people dying of thirst and offering them a whole oasis in exchange for playing some games of chance. They let them win at first to give them a sense of hope, only to crush it later and trick them into losing so they can become part of the oasis. It's all very fiendish, very demonish, and also not very core D&D-ish, because they are in Zaman's Guide to the End of Times and how to fix it. This book has a gunner class. Yes, a whole gunner class, martial class, but what I love about it is that it's one of those books that gives you 1,000 things with like a vague theme, but you can add any of them to any game, regardless of what you're playing. It has this Arabian Nights deserty aesthetic, but it's been written so you can use any of the content inside with so many different games. There's the aforementioned gunner class, but also rules for time travel that actually work for the game and that literally take into account paradoxes. There's updated rules for mounted combat that actually feel like they affect the game. There are new familiars that come with skill trees somehow. There's new species. There's new subclasses like the Oath of the Timekeeper Paladin for when the party inevitably destroys time and space with the whole time travel thing. And this one was made for me, the School of Embalming Wizard. I'm playing that. I'm playing that so hard. It's Loot Tavern, so you know there's an insane amount of content. And also, the art. This might be my favorite art direction for a 5e book I've seen. It's breathtaking. It's so beautiful. So go check it out below. It looks incredible, and it's live right now. Like now. It's the very first link in the description, and thank you to Loot Tavern for sponsoring this video. Okay, that's the demon primer, but to understand demons, we gotta understand where they come from. Hell? No, that's devils. Told you it was confusing. Demons instead come from a place called the Abyss. Now, if I went into detail as to what the Abyss is and how it works and how much rent goes for over there, this video will be 3 hours long. One day, we'll make a video about D&D places. I like to do those when I reach milestones, and we're really close to 500k, so subscribe to make me suffer. Last time I made one when I got to 100k, and it took me 2 months to write. Anyway, I'm just gonna give you an overview of the Abyss, and when I say I'm gonna gonna give you an overview. I mean, human familiar, Abyss rundown, now.
Human familiar.
Fitting that I get to cover a form of hell. Anyway, as the hat says, an exhausting review of this will take days, and we do those for subscriber milestones. So you're getting the Abyss Cliff Notes. Get it? Abyss, Cliff. This is my job. So if demons are chaos incarnate, the Abyss is chaos inlanded. Sure, whatever. Why should words make sense on a script? The Abyss is a metaphysical and physical manifestation of chaos. In D&D cosmology, the outer planes are neighborhoods that embody different alignments. And the plane that represents chaotic evil in this Miss Universe pageant is the Abyss. And that's where demons come from. Or do they? Not really, not all of them. Tanari demons do. You got this. The Abyss is that brand of D&D writing where the writers just enter a fun competition where they outdo each other as to who can write the worst place on Earth and outside of Earth, but it sort of exists as a mirror to the hells where devils live. If the hells are like an amusement park where every millimeter of inch of a mile in that amusement park has been designed to be as awful as possible, neatly divided by length of torture, amount of pain, type of torture, type of torturer, and income bracket. By contrast, the Abyss is like if someone picked out the spikiest, grossest, most awfulest things to step on, poured everything into a hot tub like a kid playing potions, and just started mixing all that until their mom finds out, except the mom never finds out, so the Abyss happens. The Abyss is divided by layers, not circles like in hell, which makes it completely different, we swear. It's just a lot of like, copy the homework but change it a little bit action from the designers. How many layers? Wouldn't you like to know? We've heard all kinds of numbers. From 666, from whoever wrote My Immortal, to 679, very specifically, to I don't know, man, just a whole lot. By me, I made that number up. The truth is that the Abyss has never been seen in full, and it's assumed to be infinite because the more you go down, the more awful it gets, to the point where not even demons can live there. So who knows? Because this is chaos incarnate, or inlanded, forgive me, you get a little bit of anything and everything when you visit, but only if it's awful. No verdant forests, just those creepy pasta forests where all the trees are like evenly spaced and it gets like pitch black like 10 feet in. No azure seas, just vats upon vats of like churning, burning, boiling black ichor. It's sort of like a pick your poison situation with the Abyss. A literal pick your poison situation. Like 99% of the things in the Abyss are poisonous. Counting the layers of the Abyss not only proves difficult because of how hard it is to survive in them, but also because they change all the time, constantly. Remember that chaos made inlanded bit? They take that seriously. The layers of the Abyss don't really stay in place, and what is worse is that they get crazier the more you go down. More layers are added, some layers split, some layers rejoin into one big layer, and it gets more insane the more you go down. The only semblance of normalcy here is at the very top layers. And that's why the upper layers is where my demons lie. And all of those demons are under the demon princes. That's pretty good. Human familiar, you are dismissed. Back to my own Abyss. So just like devils have archdevils, the lords of hell, demons have archdemons. In a rare instance of demons having the cooler version of something, they get the princes of the Abyss, which is much cooler than a lord, although demon lords do exist. It's basically the same thing, don't worry, it's whatever, we don't have time and we gotta keep it moving. Demon lords that rule over several layers of the Abyss are demon princes, and they get to have a name and somewhat of a characterization. Let's meet the neighbors. I'll just pick 3 of the most notable ones. First up, the Demogorgon. This is an industry plant if I've ever seen one. This is just a monkey with snake arms, and yet he's the most recognizable prince out of all of them. A tragedy. The Demogorgon's whole thing is that he's bad, really bad, really bad. Okay, he just doesn't have a thing. He's technically a lesser deity in the way that every important member of a plane is, but his domain is bad stuff, basically. He strikes me as having a branding problem, although you could take him as like the prototypical demon. Vaguely animal-coded, chimera-esque, and a meanie. That's pretty much it. He has 2 things of note, being the first Tanari to ever be created, and that he has 2 monkey heads that hate each other. One watches Rick and Morty and thinks he's a genius, and the other one has never read an instruction manual in his life. And each head thinks the other is an idiot and that their own idea is better. It's like the Demogorgon is locked into a group project forever. It's even said that the reason why the Demogorgon hasn't taken over the Abyss in its entirety is that his 2 heads keep fighting each other.
Shut your disgusting mouth, you
yet another victim of the inner saboteur. So why is this guy well known? Well, other than being old as dirt in game years, which means we've had like 50 years of bad guys being warlocks to the Demogorgon, or the evil cult trying to summon the Demogorgon, etc., you get it. He also must have the best agent in all of the Abyss, because he got a starring role in Stranger Things, season 1 of all things, back when it was good, which catapulted him to his current stardom. Good for him. Moving on to actually interesting one. Second, Juiblex. Guessing pronunciations here, and yes, I'm going for deep cuts. You don't need me to tell you that Orcus is also here. Juiblex is to me a great representation of what makes demons and devils different. Devils make sense. 99% of them are humanoid, most have horns. You get devils. Demons are chaos. Most of them are animalesque, or in the case of Juiblex, flubber, but with eyes. Juiblex is giving a very World of Warcraft, tries to do Lovecraftian sense of design. This demon prince is literally just a massive pile of goo with googly eyes on it. Iconic. Juiblex is sort of the Whoopi of demons, in that all of the other demons make fun of him and are mean to him and call him names and bully him just because he's a formless, nauseating mass of effluvia made of alien evil and chaos. So unfair. When it comes to his plans and what he's up to, literally nobody knows. He's weird even for demons, and also ungodly intelligent and calculating, which is not a demon thing at all. He's always planning something, but he's just so alien that there's just no way of guessing what he's up to. We do know what he wants though. That's pretty clear. He wants to corrupt every single thing under the sun, and that other sun, and that place without a sun, anything. His entire goal is to further the corruption that happens when he touches anything. He wants to swallow, corrode, and destroy literally all of existence. Dream big, kids. And finally, third, my personal favorite, Mother herself, Zuggedmoy. I have checked no less than 5 pronunciation sources, and they are all different. I don't know what to tell you. Zuggedmoy, the demon queen of fungi, the lady of rot and decay, which is what we're gonna call her, and the coolest titles out of all of these guys, subscribes to the demon's love of destruction in her own unique way, by rotting every living thing under the sun. How? With the spores of her mold. Love her. Queen.
You are a diva. A young, beautiful diva.
She's always referred to in the feminine, but Zuggedmoy is just as inhuman as Juiblex is. She molds the mold that is her form, I'm a poet, into the vague shape of a woman, but she's just that, demonic fungi, constantly spreading and enveloping everything. These two, Juiblex and her, are actually quite similar, and maybe because of that, they hate each other a whole lot. Probably because Juiblex destroys and corrodes, whereas Zuggedmoy has other plans. If Juiblex's thing is destroying through corrosion, Zuggedmoy is destruction through dead, rot, and decay, but most importantly, like any mushroom-themed thing in a game, she loves to take over the minds of everyone, and this is her final goal. Yes, the Lady of Rot and Decay loves rot and decay, but she's also one of the smartest demons. Her actual goal was to form a sort of shroomy oneness, infect everything and anything that can be infected, fold the minds of every living thing into herself, and become a massive macroorganism that spans the entire world. And not just that, but every plane and every universe. Don't let anyone tell you how big your dreams can be. She's also more fun than the others by virtue of being one of the rare demons that likes lies, deception, subterfuge, and other girl boss activities. Is it tired and boring that the only 2 girls that are demon lords love to lie and deceive? Yes. Do I still like it? Yeah. Welcome to the Mother of. I never said I was above standing. But of course there's many others. The Dark Prince of Spicy Furry Commissions, the one that was named after a key smash, and the one that is, confusingly enough, not related to orcs in any way. Okay, so that's a whole lot. We know what demons are, we know what different types of demons there are, we know demon princes, we know about the Abyss, where they have their gated communities, and that's all fine and dandy. So what if we give demons a new twist? So you want to fight a demon?
I had to face a lot of demons.
I was possessed by a demon.
Demons are less popular than devils. This is just kind of how it is. Why though? Well, I think it's because when coming up with a villain, it will always be more compelling to have a mastermind than to have a brute. Not all demons are brutes. I know, I've said so in this video, but many of them are. And it's also said that demons are generally not about plotting, scheming, and carefully laying out plans. Demons are creatures of instinct, of instant gratification, of clear plans and basic goals. And picking the 3 of them that go against type doesn't make demons as a whole more popular. It's a deceptively simple reason, but but I think that's the reason. Also, you know me, I have to put a visual spin on everything, and I have to do it with a good metaphor because that's what the channel is about, I guess. Presentation is half the dish. Depending on how you played it, the same dish can literally taste better because it looks better. And demons, in my eyes, look way less appetizing than devils. I don't think people are particularly taken by the blender approach of creature design, the whole throwing darts at a wall to end up with a thing that is the body of a sea lion, the head of a horse, the left arm of a crab, and the right arm of an octopus doesn't really lead to particularly interesting creature design. Definitely confusing creature design, but not interesting. And yes, I get it, it's because chaos. It makes sense for it to be a mix of stuff. But like, why is chaos animals? Animals in D&D are unaligned, or if anything, neutral. I have complained a whole lot about demons and devils not having a clear visual identity, as in, I wish we could tell apart a demon and a devil just by looking at one, but like, you can't. This is a demon, and this is a devil. Anyway, that's neither here nor there, but I don't think it helps. So, what do? Well, I think that the answer is not turn demons into devils, as in, I don't think that the answer here is to make all demons cunning masterminds or whatever. I think at that point, there's just no point in having both. I think instead that zeroing in on what makes demons different from devils might be the answer here. If we concentrate on what demons provide that devils cannot provide, we might cook something really interesting. So what is it? Well, we have established what demons are, chaos incarnate, beings of instant gratification, not planners, but rather deeply interested in emotions and carnal pleasures. That's not a devil at all. These guys are different. So let's take all of those ideas and make something that embodies this. Chaotic evil. Evil without rules. Evil without reason. Evil without laws. Corruption through chaos, through giving in to instincts. Not corruption through carefully laying out your evil schemes, but corruption through letting yourself go. Any group is both beholden to and exists because of a social contract, a set of rules that members of said group follow to ensure the peaceful coexistence of all members within said group. Just as important as these rules, however, is the opportunity to break them. And so the same society makes spaces where these rules are allowed to be broken. You cannot fight openly on the street, but you can fight in a fighting ring. You can't give yourself to your base passions anywhere, but you can in the pleasure house. And you can't laugh and ridicule another, but you can laugh at a clown. And that is exactly what a pantomime preys on. A pantomime is a strange demon, in that it appears mostly humanoid, but it isn't. Much like the master it usually serves under, the Lady of Rot, a pantomime is just something that takes a humanoid shape. In the case of the pantomime, this is to infiltrate society to dismantle it from the inside. Demons enjoy destruction and corruption. They act on instinct and chase immediate pleasure, and the pantomime feeds on imposing these same impulses on mortals. A pantomime infestation starts with a street performer, busking for money, often a clown, debasing themselves in front of a crowd to elicit a laugh. Except the pantomime doesn't do this for loose change. It does this to break down the social contract that holds communities together. The more people laugh at the pantomime, the more people allow themselves to break that law that governs society, the more the pantomime grows. Next time, the pantomime might appear as a puppet show or a traveling cart, and it will do so with the same goal. In time, the pantomime will grow into a full circus, appearing on the outskirts of a town, and that's when the real work of this demon begins. The pantomime feasts on the transgression and breakdown of societal rules, and the more people indulge in them, the more the pantomime grows. It's a true demon, a being that enjoys destruction and corruption, but it targets the destruction of the rules that govern the universe, lawfulness and good, the forces diametrically opposed to the chaotic evil that governs demonkind. The circus masquerades itself as a safe space to let go of those inhibitions. The acts within will start small, a pie to the face, a fall into a tank of water, or a titillating aerial show. Once that first barrier is broken, the transgressions grow more debauched. Suddenly, the pie to the face turns into an all-out brawl, the tank of water an opportunity to laugh at torture, or the aerial show an opportunity to give in to the basest of desires. The circus has tricked its audience to unravel the fabric of society by simply allowing its audience to pull at one of its threads, because the circus and the demon are one and the same. A pantomime is both the demon and its act. The more it corrupts, the more it grows. Its humanoid appearance is a ruse, just like the act it puts on. The ringleader, the clown, the trapeze artist, and even the tents and lanterns, all of it are the same demon. It feeds on a mortal's descent into chaos, growing new acts with which to trick more mortals. Given enough time, a pantomime can grow into the settlement it occupies, becoming entire casinos or pleasure districts. Once law has been so thoroughly damaged by the pantomime that the city it inhabits breaks down into chaos, utterly destroyed from the inside by its own citizens, the pantomime will move on to the next settlement, disguised as a busker performing a harmless act, inciting those around it to laugh at them. And so, the cycle continues. Okay, yes, you know I'm 10. I love cowboys, pirates, cooking, and circuses, but in my defense, doesn't a circus work perfectly for this? I love the idea of a demon being just an entire demon circus, and it works perfectly for demons. Instant gratification, base desires, pleasures of the senses, showy, flashy, immediate. That's demons, baby.
Oh yeah, and the whole fighting an entire circus part is sick.
Alright, it's the collab episode. Everyone, meet Willow from Willowwares. I'm tired of collabing with humans, too many feelings and all that, and it's so important for me to highlight other non-human creators, you see? Representation matters. And Willow here is a haunted teapot something.
Excuse you. I'll have you know this haunted lantern body has been passed down in my family for generations.
Yeah, that. Anyway, what do you mean fight a circus, though?
Well, you're not just gonna make it like a stat block of a guy.
No?
No. Imagine if you could fight this guy once in his humanoid form, and then, once you finally wipe the floor with him, you get to fight the entire circus. Every circus act is a different action. Maybe you can bring back layer actions and make it all about that because you are literally fighting the layer. Or if you want to do it 2024 style, you can make them actions that affect the battlefield. Imagine one based on the circus's fire breather with jets of fire that the players have to dodge to get out of the way. Or imagine one based on aerials or trapeze art, wherein most of the floor disappears and the players have to jump from section to section. You finally get to use the jumping mechanics that literally nobody touches unless your DM puts a cliff in front of you. I like the mushroomy vibe of but what if this thing was less mushroom and more fleshy? It acts like a mushroom, but in the way that it's a moving, spreading organism. Tendons instead of rope, skin instead of canvas for the tent, glowing eyes instead of lanterns. A circus made of flesh. And you only see this true form when you fight the demon as a layer.
Yeah, sounds good and all, but you're the one that's gonna draw all this, right?
What, like it's hard?
Yeah?
Oh God, Jesus. I mean, yeah, I guess. I guess this could work. This is sufficient. It's pretty good.
It slaps.
Okay, fine, it slaps, but the devil I did on your channel also slaps.
Yeah, the one you did on my channel also kind of slaps, I guess. Kinda. People should go check it out.
Yeah, a whole devil big bad on your channel where you make big bads that people can use and people can go grab them for free. I venture to guess people watching this might enjoy that. Just a hunch.
It's just such a shame that all this lives in my little flame brain and your little hat brain.
Yeah, it's only a far-off memory that looks like a scattered dream. Of course it isn't. Guess what? Willowwares and I have collabed to bring you this demon, and it's up for you to grab for 100% free in Willowwares' channel. Link below. Yes, sorry for the switcheroo, but Willow is my friend and she just started her own channel, and you're gonna love her content for real because you love mine, right? Right? And Willow's is both super similar and also 100% uniquely hers. I've contributed to the devil we made on her channel to go alongside the demon we made here. So please go take a look. Spoiler alert for the devil I worked on. It kind of looks like this. Starting a journey like this is always scary, and I feel like it's super important to help people that have taken that plunge. I really feel like we cooked, so please go check it out. And if you do, go watch the video and say on her comment, Pointy Hat sends his regards. So it's not goodbye this time. It's a see you in a sec. Link below and all that. All right, see you there. Bring soda, please. We don't have any. Bye. Mwah.